We got a good intro here. We got a good
I thought
intro
you
here.
said I thought you said I was all right, Spada. Like I was all right.
You ruined a good cock game. Uh, Welcome to the Wide World of Motorsports podcast live.
Live.
And
I can say anything. I
you
can I can I can
gotta say
ruin your life.
live,
I can
folks.
ruin
Gotta
this.
say
I
live.
can ruin this.
We're recording for Wednesday, January 26th, 2022. And
January. Is
this
that
is
crazy?
almost the end of it. This is season 5, episode 1 of the WAMS podcast. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Insta, YouTube. Also, streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and we got lots of other stuff we post through Facebook and YouTube as well.
Discord.
And yeah, we do have a Discord. We gotta maybe we'll
New
throw
for
that up in the we'll
2022.
throw that up in the description. Yeah. Hey, that's an idea as it happens. We're gonna throw that up in this, because we're gonna try to
Now you
get
have to
with
do it though. You said
get
you were
with
going
the
to do it. Now you
kids.
have to do
Yeah,
it.
Kay Peterson, relax. No. So we're recording again, which is good. We're back. We're in the mix of things. Like, we wanna reach out to our guests, shout us out. We wanna start. Maybe get an idea what's good out there. If you want to hear something on the show, or if you want us to get into something, we'll talk about any motorsport. So just give us a shout out.
Hmm.
Tell us what you like, or just tell us the truth. Tell us that we suck.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, man, you got to see it like this. You see, we're back. We're back, and
Back.
got some to
Big stuff.
basically we got some. It's going to be a pretty big show. Really big.
Joel.
No, there's so much, but one thing we gotta kick it off about. And as I was getting the stream started, it was a live stream. And I realized when we did the 24-hour of iRacing at Daytona, and YouTube only does 24 hours. They don't do past 12 hours. They after that, it's up in the air. It could not process. There's
Really?
so I
Scheiße.
wanted to let people know as a PSA that if you plan on live streaming to YouTube for more than 12 hours, to stop it at about like 11:55, because that's as long as you can do 11:55. So just stop a little bit before that, and then because you know what, I would love to tell people check out our. I would love to say check out our 24-hour stream of when we did the 24 hours of iRacing on our YouTube page. I would love to say,
Well,
hey,
we did the 24 hours of
we did
Daytona
the stream
on
live.
iRacing.
We did the stream live, but it's not up to watch for after,
not there.
for on demand, which is unfortunate because it was a blast and a really good time in with having our getting to know each other and being able to actually, like, we were legit. We were spotting for each other. We were taking care of each other. It was a little intimate now, but we were good. We were all good. And that was the most fun I've had in a while. And too bad again. God damn you, YouTube and Google. You gotta have that. You gotta put that up in the thing. You gotta say can't stream past 11 hours 55 minutes. Really, and as this is on YouTube, and I hope there's someone listening on YouTube, please just have a disclaimer for everyone so they don't have to go down that path. But anyways,
It was fun though. We had a good time. I mean, it was a big learning curve for us to do something like that. We did the
tough.
3 hour. We did we did a couple 3 hours. You and I did the 2 hour 40 IMSA race, at Mosport, right? No, where did we do that? Watkins Glen. And
More to come too.
yeah,
Belle
and it
Isle
was
this
fun.
weekend for us.
Yep.
Which will be streaming on our YouTube and will for sure stay up.
I'm excited for that. That's going to be really fun. I got to get some practice in on that
For
that
sure.
track.
When's Bathurst?
Bathurst is not till February.
Okay.
Because the real race, the real race was supposed to be the end of February, but they had to postpone it to May in Down Under. That was a terrible Aussie accent. I don't even think I tried to do an Aussie accent. I just tried to not.
They
sound
take
like
it seriously. You gotta watch it. They'll kick your ass, man.
But anyways, they moved it because of COVID. So I think it's the end of February. So
it's a good
Mayhem League.
Yeah,
looking to have they're looking to join us with another team.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. The Mayhem Racing League, I guess we'll shout them out again. We always do. But so a lot of stuff we're doing on iRacing and streaming on our YouTube page. And a lot of, got to get, we're YouTube, I think, you know what? Other than me just saying how much better they need to do. Hey, that's where the Wide World of Motorsports TV, you say, hey, Siri, Alexa, pull it up. It's that easy. So you could do that too. You could do that too. So I think even today, I think recently, for sure, Frankie Muniz was doing some testing in the ARCA series, in an ARCA car at Daytona, and actually, I think it was just. As we're recording, I think it was this recent sponsorship did just not fall through. It did just not go well. So I don't even think he's gonna be racing it. Interesting though how such a out of nowhere, such a random person just tries out for.
Yeah, but he's got a history of racing. He's a big Porsche head.
And, yeah.
So he's got a history of doing that. Little surprising that he was going stock car racing, or was trying to, anyways.
Yeah, so random.
A little bit.
But
I never watched the show though.
Someone's got maybe the most random ARCA driver, I'd have to say. So I'd love for
I bet you there's somebody out there.
Maybe. I'd love to say, hey, hashtag our Twitter and at Frankie Muniz. I'd love to talk to him. We got to get him on the show. Because that is so tough. I guess not. It cannot be easy hauling a stock car of any sort around Daytona at any speed. So I do think that is quite that is different. You think of he's an actor, and that's that the guy must be a legit race car driver. So that's legit. We gotta help him get his. We gotta help him get a sponsor. We add us on Twitter. But no, seriously, that'd be funny.
Well, it'd be cool to.
We sponsor. Do you want to sponsor Frankie Muniz? Put some money together. The Woms entering racing. Wouldn't that be awesome? To put him on our hood, his hood, not our hood.
That'd be cool. He should. We should see if we can get him in. You
gotta add us, people. That's gonna be my goal. Is we gotta get Frankie Muniz on the show. That's gonna be my real goal for the year. At some point, we gotta get him on the show. I demand it. What else? What else has happened? In um, Dale Jr. getting into the like that was pretty epic. Dale Jr. getting into the Hall of Fame. There's a big event for him this past week. He tested, and he did say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna come back." He's just tested, and he has himself said that he's definitely not gonna come back, which is unfortunate. But it was really cool to see him during testing at Daytona in the next gen car, and the number 5. He was trying to run some laps as Kyle Larson was obviously busy in Oklahoma with the Chili Bowl, so someone had to fill the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to see him back at Daytona. And it was right where he belonged too. I think just taking it easy, running behind some guys, and a lot of testing too
Mm-hmm.
this past month. Um, Even just with today, as we're recording the NASCAR Cup Series with the next gen car testing at Phoenix. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the final test
I watched a bit of
before
that.
they go. That's the final test. Yeah, I watched a bit of it too. Yeah, I think I think the 12 spun out at one point, hit the wall, which is good. Like people would go like, no, like, oh, that's terrible. He's car's terrible, or Blaney's terrible. No, you want to spin out. Like that's testing. You know, that falls under testing. That counts as
Well, you're
testing.
always, yeah.
You're testing
Actually,
spinning out.
it's funny you say that because Gilles Villeneuve was big for that of spinning out a lot during practice sessions leading up to the race, and it was one question about it. He said basically, how do I not find the limit if I don't spin out? Right. So he'd go into it until he spun out, and then
Yeah,
he knew where the limit was
that's
of each corner.
they definitely tested it at Phoenix. I think
Hmm.
Kyle got a couple spins, and Chase got, yeah, like they were all.
At least it wasn't Tyler Reddick this time. Again.
Um, and then, so as all this is happening with NASCAR, with the Clash going into Los Angeles in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks from the date we're recording, actually, just next weekend.
Wow.
I have
That's fast.
multiple reasons to be happy about this. And
Hmm.
again, I don't want to tell people, you got to balance things out. If you have all these pros, you got to celebrate that. But maybe some people have a lot of cons about this. But for me, like, hey, like, I love LA. I love LA history. The Coliseum has lots of that, and I think it's just cool that they're going back to a stadium. Um, and just they announced a couple weeks ago Ice Cube. I'm not.
Hmm.
I love all music, and I have no problem with the Cube performing during race break. He's just born a few miles from where he's performing. Like this is his hood in quotes. Hope we don't get
Right.
canceled for that. It was
Huh.
just even
Like,
announced yesterday or a couple days ago. Pitbull perform 45-minute pre-show,
that's
and then today
crazy.
DJ Ski will perform during caution breaks
I saw
and
that
stage
too.
breaks. Um, Spinning. That's what they call it. He's spinning
Yeah.
during the race. Like, but
Hey,
and
they're
then
going all. They're really trying to do this big, right? Like this is a big deal
so it was
for them.
also it was also basically confirmed that NASCAR has boosted the purse for the Busch Light Clash by $750,000. So that will be under a $2 million total. And that will basically get it because there might be a chance that there'll be a smaller field, which I think won't be bad for a small track. But they want to get more people to come out, or like teams, and they want them to race here. They want to.
Hmm.
It's a far travel. It's a long travel, considering
Yeah.
all the race streams are in the kind of basically the North Carolina, like down south area. I mean, there's also lots of other race shops around the United States, but even where some of them randomly are,
Yeah.
that Los Angeles is still a very very far trek. That's I mean that's a couple 3 days, and that's
Well,
gonna cost some money within itself just to do that.
yeah. Well, the other big thing too about this is the teams got to be well, drivers got to be really careful with these cars because there's not a lot of them, right? There's not a lot of parts out there yet. There's not a lot of cars out there yet. I've heard things said that some teams are going to be heading out there with one car because that's all they have, and
Even though
so
I don't know if it Steve O'Donnell or someone like a NASCAR high up, even though they said that he said he's confident that there is no issue with that. So we'll see how that plays. We'll
must
actually see
be.
how it plays. Yeah, we'll see how it actually plays out next weekend. But
Like, do you think they're gonna really push um the drivers are gonna push real hard? Do you think this is an important
here, check this out.
um
This is why it's
race for
important.
them?
NASCAR, they like they have this information where apparently nearly 70% of the ticket holders are new to NASCAR. So this is a chance if the drivers know this is a chance for them to push it. As it is the Clash anyways, right? It's a non-points event. So you got to consider that, right? I think they're gonna want. I think they're gonna want to make a show, put on it, and with you've seen it on everywhere on social media. They're pushing the event, and I bet you know what
So
people
is
were
it a big deal? Is it a big deal because NASCAR's like telling the teams? Like, I'm really curious how the teams really feel about this. Um, with taking these cars, like, honestly, and this might be crazy, and call me crazy. I think they should be doing this race with last year's cars. I don't think they should be doing this race in the next gen car. I think they need to save the car for Daytona.
no. That shows lack of commitment. That's kind of weak, and they're going all out right now. They're not screwing around at all with this, especially with what we even with just the other day with the rule
Hmm.
change, the basically a new level of penalties, and even in December, I think it was Steve. I gotta get the exact name down. I'm pretty sure it was him though. Steve O'Donnell that said
Hmm.
that they will be setting a new level, like a new bar. Even they said that they're changing the culture in the garage for the how they don't want cars to have maybe that's what's happening. They don't want teams to have that advantage because let's be real, we all know it that the certain cars and
Well,
certain teams have different. There's there may be
well,
something
so
going on there in the car a
I
little
heard it
better.
put in a really good way by Justin Marks, who is the owner of Trackhouse. Um, with the cars being made, and they're all made by the same vendor, right? And all the cars are identical. You're not allowed to develop them. You can't change anything, right? the vendor or the company making it needs to guarantee that they can make, 5,000 driver door panels that are identical in every single way. Because what's going to happen is that teams that can afford it will buy 500 doors, keep, like he said, keep 50 and get rid of the rest, because because they've run the tests on them, and those 50 give them half a tenth. Right? So
Right.
that's where you're going to see teams like try and gain their advantage on other teams. And with this
Because
level
the
of
door's lighter?
penalty, this new level of penalty coming in, the teams are going to have to be really careful on what they do to the cars, right? Like they can't just
Not because the door is
fudge
lighter.
with them. No, it would be it was I think it was more of an example, but I think just referring to, like, if the door is not stamped out the exact same, it could have
I'm sure that would be on a very rare a rare occasion.
so yeah, so that's why he's just saying, like, the NASCAR needs to make sure that this is where, you know,
Yeah, it was interesting when they said counterfeiting. We're modifying next gen single source vendor supplied parts
yeah.
and or
Be-
assemblies.
yeah, because that's what the teams are going to do. And I guarantee you there's going to be at least one team caught this year cheating.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
100%. Um yeah, this car's I'm really excited for this car.
A couple of
Um
engine infractions added on. Cubic
mhm.
inch displacement compression ratio, long block assembly, and our internal parts not meeting the rules, um, which is which is interesting because you think that would have already been kind of a thing. Engine performance enhancements, nitrous oxide and vacuum leaks, and then ECU EFI parts not being used as the rules permit. Um, Modifying tires and or fuel or violating the vehicle test policies. So I'm guessing a majority of these during all the testing so far, there's probably teams really exploring, and they probably who knows. But I thought it would already kind of been said in a rule book that nitrous, unless that was already probably the wording, or maybe they're changing it. But you would hope that nitrous oxide and vacuum leaks would be addressed. Maybe that is a chance that that has happened in the past, and maybe that's like confirmation of it. Like I don't know. Interesting to note though that like that could be obviously a thing, and of course it is. It's happened lots of times in the past.
It is
And these are
interesting
big
that
elf. That's a level 3. That's a lot of points, a lot of money. And if someone pushes it, they could. I think an L4 would be the. Sorry, level yeah. So level 3 specifically, 120 and 180 points, 25 to 50 playoff points, which is yeah, huge. That
huge.
especially depending how far you go. Playoff eligibility, driver and or team owner. That's a no. So you won't. You I don't. I'm guessing the L4 would be that. The team. So you'll immediately cost a couple positions. You'll have the fine, $250 to $500,000 fine. One vehicle gets suspended. So I'm guessing they would take the vehicle. I don't think it's like a race suspension, um,
Mm.
unless that's what that could mean as well. Like just imagine having to be parked for violating one of those things we were just talking about there. Um,
Hmm.
which would be that's Christopher Rocco. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ow. But like and then there's chance that during pit stops that there could be, now that they're quicker and more simpler because of the one lug nut, that there could be a chance that
Are they quicker?
another crew member could, yeah, oh yeah, there could be a chance that a crew member
Quicker.
could.
Because
They're quicker.
how much quicker are
I've
they?
seen it. They're quicker. I didn't time it, and they didn't
Oh,
post the times, but I'm sure you could.
I didn't think it was
Hey,
going to be
let's pull this
that
shit up,
much
Jamie.
quicker.
Let's time it ourselves. Let's pull up the timer.
No,
It was a few
I
seconds. I counted. It was like 5. It had like they're gonna have like 6, 7 second pit stops. Seriously.
no way.
Yes,
No,
absolutely,
because they
dude.
have to wait on the
Yes.
fuel. They
Yes,
have to always wait on the fuel.
not if it's already in. Not if it's already in. I don't think it'll take that long to pack her up.
Well, I don't know. They're not changing just because they change the tires quicker. They're not changing how quick the fuel goes in the car. I think pit stops will be the
Well,
same.
you're not fueling every time you pit, right?
In NASCAR?
Sometimes you just need to take tires depending on the situation. Maybe you're under yellow or whatever. That's a situation. That's totally situational. That's not a guaranteed every pit stop. If you're only taking tires for whatever reason, now obviously you'd want to gas up when you can, but when you don't need to and you want to make that time up, it will reflect. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of guys. You'll see it throughout the season. There will be a lot of time gained. The pit road strategy, well, there will be a lot more focus on track position. I can guarantee it, because there'll be almost a whole new race on pit road. Just you wait. Just you wait, Wallace.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not changing the game a little bit, but I think
Oh, it's making it
I
more
think
intense. I think.
it's for sure it will, because the guys have to be um spot on, right? Because right now they only have to hit 4 or 5 lug nuts to the last pit stop, and that's why these pit stops are so quick. So because they only check the last set of tires, right? That's why
Right.
last pit stops are. That's why usually the last pit stop of the race is usually not the quickest, because they're trying to hit everything, and that's what makes Kyle Larson's pit stop in Phoenix amazing, was how quickly those guys did that and nailed it perfect. He didn't get one penalty for it, right?
Well, just
And it was
imagine how
like,
much more magnified that's going to be now. A move like that, there could be a race. There could be even more of.
well,
The,
that's what I mean. Like if you screw it off, it will pop. Like it'll pop the tire right off if you don't get the lug nut on properly, right? Like if you cross thread the lug nut now.
oh yeah, sure.
But
Like
it's
there's going to be so much like. There's sometimes have been championships decided off of a pit stop, so that there's going to be a totally new element added to that. Freaking
for sure. I
pulling
agree
up this
for
IMSA
sure.
stuff, and guess what I see? I see those blue glasses.
What?
I see those blue shades.
Of your
You know what? I need to order
favorite
blue.
person.
You know what? I think I want blue glasses. I think I really want blue shit. I gotta find. I'm gonna do it too. I'm serious. I'm gonna find blue shades.
Do it.
Be like
I'll
Wayne
call
Taylor.
you Wayne Taylor too.
uh, um, I was just trying to just get some exact details here on the results to the Roar.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of transfer over to that here, because I love the NASCAR, and don't
It's
get me
technically
wrong.
still NASCAR.
Yeah, because some dude approached what's his face, and then he's like, "Yeah, sure, you guys deserve to have, you guys deserve it too." That's kind of how the beginning of IMSA happened, just in a short little crappy summary by yours truly. Yeah, so, but But don't get me wrong though. To actually end this off and to transfer into over things though. But seriously though, the Clash on my birthday, Ice Cube. If he plays "Today Was a Good Day," oh my god, like I might have a 40.
Are you gonna die?
I might have a 40 in my hand, and I might
A
have
40. Hey Conan,
maybe a
get me a
blunt.
40.
Straight up, it's legal where we're at, so I'll just say it. Get a blunt,
Nice.
and because I love it, man, I have no reason to hate that at all. Because you know what song I'm talking about, right? Today was a good day. Ice Cube. Today was a good
You
day.
people listening, my wife are very disappointed. I never listened to that kind of music when I grew up. So I don't know it. No, I don't know any Ice Cube, I don't
What?
know those. I know who they are. Like, of course I know who they are, but I don't know their music.
I'm sending you the song lately. You're gonna listen to
See,
it
now, if
later.
you asked me if I knew songs by Pitbull, well, I can name them all off. I'm just kidding. I
Really?
don't know any Pitbull songs either.
What about DJ
No, I don't know
Ski?
any Pitbull songs.
But in all seriousness, no,
No, I don't.
that's gonna be an awesome. Uh, it's
I'm
gonna be so
Yeah, it'll be fun.
crazy. What I predict those they're not even gonna make. They're gonna hit green. They're not even gonna make turn one, because and I'm not judging it off of iRacing, but they had footage of the first official session in iRacing at the Coliseum, and they they couldn't even get past the start finish. So that's how I think it's gonna go down. I don't even think they're gonna. It's gonna be a wreck fest. Like it's gonna be a disaster right away.
I don't think we will.
Oh, it's a
No,
tight. It's
no
the
way.
wait until you
Because the
see. It's the
guys,
tightest
I
track
know, but it
ever.
won't be. I know, but it won't be because they can't do it. This is what I'm saying. They don't have enough parts and cars to go be a wreck fest. If they do that, I don't know what they're going to do for
I
Daytona. They're going to
I
be racing some shitty looking
they're
cars because
not
they'll
going to
all
be
be beat
racing
banged up.
their super track or super track. They're not
It's the
going to
same
be
car.
racing. They're not. How do you know
It's the
that?
same car
Well, a
because
lot of
it's the
race
same
teams
car
have
for
different short
everything.
tracks. They have short track cars, and they
No,
have their
not
super
now, not
speedway
with the
cars.
car, not with the new car.
I
No,
don't. I don't know if that's. I don't think every race team has one car now, though. I don't know. I'd
no, they're not
honestly.
going to have one car because that doesn't make any sense. They'll have like three cars, but
Yeah,
it's
so
not
they
going to
got a
be
car to
like.
spend. So what?
But they don't. But what I'm saying is they don't. They're not built yet. They haven't made enough cars yet. So some teams are only going to have like at our Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, RFK. Holy shit, that's going to be hard to remember all the time. Um, like with the three teams or four teams, three teams. Brad, Chris
There's a
Busher,
couple other
and
cars with.
who else races there?
So I think isn't that the team that has the random drivers? No, that's Colleague, isn't it? That's the team
Yeah.
with like the random drivers. But
No.
yeah,
Anyway,
we'll
so my
see
point is that
though.
Roush Fenway might. There's three cars in that stable. They're definitely going to have three cars, but they might only have three cars at that time. They're going to have more, I
We'll
think, and more
see
parts built. I don't
uh,
know.
when there's. I wasn't gonna say that
How
in a
could they
mean
build?
way.
How could they
When
build
there's
that
a
many
dozen
cars?
cars, when there's only a dozen cars that have shown up next weekend, then we'll see. But I,
How many
whew,
cars were at the test today?
that Phoenix, good question. I don't think there was many. I didn't see many. Good question, actually.
I'm going to
Um,
Google it real quick because I'm curious.
and then you can also Google the freaking results to the Roar. um, but I did. All I know is that I think Larson was fastest. Actually, sorry, Chase. No, I think Larson was. There's a lot of wrecks though today. Absolutely a lot of wrecks today in Phoenix. Just a
Oh,
video.
really?
Screw that video. But yeah,
I can't find it.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes down.
I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
I
good
just think
day.
there's going to be a lot of
We're
there's a
gonna
lot
see.
on the line. I think there's a lot on the line for
And I
this.
think people just yeah there no there is they need to like that's why I think there'll be as many people that can show up as they can fan wise and like they're in the biggest urban sprawl in the world. There's there's so many people in that area. It's there's no other place in the world where there's that many people concentrated in such a small area, especially the weird terrain of LA. But anyway, like it is there will for sure be packed stands. There's no question about it. Um, and there will be people. And not only that, it's easy to fly there. It's easy to get to where the track is. So yeah, I think there'd be no problem. People packing the stands, and same thing with the
Hmm.
fields. So I cannot wait. Well, obviously, have to be a couple more podcasts to be able to talk about that. Um, but one thing we'll for sure be able to talk about next week is the Rolly, and I have bandwagon investment into that race. Obviously, for
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
Action Express. Woo, Action Express. Woo, Kobayashi. Is Paj or is who's doing the third? I forget the guy's name. And then Jimmy. Jimmy Jam.
Good. Yeah, who's with you? Jimmy
Man, Jimmy Jam really
Kobayashi.
showed up for that roar. They put him out
Yeah.
first, and
Well,
he
yeah.
was on the grid. I think he is invested into IMSA for sure. Obviously, last
I
season we
think
saw him
he's
invested enough, but I think this guy is comfortable being in other race series now.
well. He just had a bit of an interview saying, he doesn't care anymore what people think. Everything that he's doing for himself now, right? Like in IndyCar. So and that's awesome. That I'm glad that he doesn't care. That means he's having fun, and I think that means um, he's gonna start performing better, right? He's been to these tracks now.
Confidence, yeah,
Like
he's gonna gain the confidence.
he's good at Daytona. He's been to Daytona a couple times, so he's not bad there. But just going into the future of IMSA this year and IndyCar with him, he's been to these tracks before, so he should be in a lot better place this year.
Yeah, and with the IndyCar, yeah, with IndyCar as well, and um, yeah, a lot of different, yeah, a lot of different series for Jimmy Jam. But it was cool seeing that, watching the watching the roar, and this was only just a couple hours after we finished our 24 at Daytona on iRacing. So I was really
Hmm.
invested into the roar, like, and it was awesome. Like I knew everything was going on. I felt like I was a seasoned vet. I was like, this is great. I know it's everything's going on, and then the NBC feed cut out, and I had to watch IMSA, and I fell asleep, um, which is
It's
unfortunate.
hurtful.
Even though, no, obviously I was exhausted, so that's why I fell asleep. Um, I was pooped out, but um, I ended up watching it though a little later when I woke up, but I guess there was again that another last lap. Um,
Oh, sorry. He had that's a really stacked car that Jimmy's in. I didn't realize those were the other two drivers
who
with him. So it's Johnson, Kamui Kobayashi, who
love
if
Kobayashi?
Formula One, ex Formula One driver, Toyota, endurance driver. You have Mike Rockenfeller, who's won Le Mans,
Right.
who ran for
I
Audi
recognize that
with
name.
the big Audi.
My
He
new
ran
ass.
DTM. Then you have Jose Maria Lopez. He's run with Toyota for a few years now in the WEC. I'm pretty sure he's won Le Mans, and I know he's won the
They got
championship there.
four
Like that's
drivers.
a stacked car. That's a stacked car right there.
Nice.
The prop and what's great about that car, so sometimes you'll see cars that have a lot of, like, okay, here's a perfect example. The this will be the Ganassi car, the '01 car. You have Renger van der Zande, you have Sebastian Bourdais, Scott Dixon, Alex Palou.
Damn. There you go.
That's a
What
that's a
what what
that's a
class? What car?
stacked. That's Chip Ganassi's other car. So they're running two cars this year, the
In what
'01 and the
class?
'02. Up
The
top
GT?
prototype.
Oh, prototype.
Prototype.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but what you see in that car is I see a lot of single seater guys. You see Alex, Scott, and Sebastian. Now, all three of those guys are well, except for Alex, because I don't think he's done any endurance racing, but he's the IndyCar champ, so that's pretty impressive. And Scott's an IndyCar champ, Sebastian's an IndyCar champ, and Renger is a 24-hour winner and an IMSA champ. But this is a good car to watch out, but the only thing that makes me sometimes worried about that is these single seater guys, because they have that single seater mentality. But that's a stacked car too. Like you have Earl Bamber, Alex Lynn, Marcus Ericsson, Kevin Magnussen, and the other Chip Ganassi. Wow, 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 wow!
It's gonna
These
be
are
good
some
to see.
stacked
That's gonna be a
cars.
good class to look out for this weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I cut you off.
no, you're good. No, you're good. um, so so that last lap,
Yes. Back to the last lap.
Vautier,
Tristan Vautier. Yeah.
Vautier, and so that was the between the Mustang sampling and the
Yes.
the other feller. That was Van der Zander. And they're
No, that
battling
was
out.
going into turn one.
So yeah, I'm asking who was it?
No, that was Wayne Taylor Racing, the number 10 car
Right.
with Ricky Taylor.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
so what that's that move that you saw there for this qualifying race is the exact move that Ricky Taylor did on that car like 2 or 3 years ago to win the race. There's a huge rivalry between Wayne Taylor Racing and Mustang Sampling. Now, that was more so with the team that they were with in Action Express and the drivers who drove for him, which was Joao Barbosa and Christian Fittipaldi. There was a huge rivalry between those two cars. And Ricky made the exact same move when Felipe Albuquerque, sorry, who's his teammate now, was in the car. So Ricky flew up, doored him going into one. He didn't really door him. They made contact. They were side by side evenly. Felipe kind of was a little not nice earlier in the previous couple laps, and Ricky just dove it in there. But that was a pretty ballsy move for Tristan to stuff it in there
And
like
then
that.
so then Van der Zandt tried to his best, obviously, in turn 5. They went off into the tires.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And then that brought out the red flag with under 5 minutes to go, and so the session ended. Van der Zandt lost his best laps and will start 7th. And
Yep, which isn't that bad.
obviously Albuquerque and Vautier, they'll share the front row.
Yep.
Wayne Taylor racing Acura, and then in third, Alex Lynn in the Ganassi, the second Ganassi Cadillac, with Tristan Nunez, an AXR Whelen Engineering backed entry, where that's the AXR's part-time car, the 48 Ally Racing, which was able to get up to 5th by Jimmy Jam and oh man, I love it. Less than 1 second off the pace, and
You are.
I love it.
I think you're looking at the wrong one, because I have different people. I have Wayne Taylor Racing who won. Then
Oh, that's
number 5. Number
Thank you.
5, Action Express in second.
Thank you for
You have
coming in.
Jimmy Jam
Thank
in
you.
third.
So I was talking about the
The grid.
yeah.
Oh,
That was my mistake.
that's okay.
That's
I was
so
just like,
stupid.
I
Stupid.
checked to see if I was looking at the wrong one. So there's some big things here too. You have Ben Keating
Thank you.
doing double duty in
Take
2 prototypes,
right.
and LMP2 and DPI. That's pretty big. And then the other big news out of it was that GTD Pro, which ones were they? Number 79 of Cooper McNeil, Julian Andlauer, Matteo Caroli, and Alessio Piccarello. And the other one of their cars, the other one with him as a Cooper is driving it as well. Daniel Juncadelo, Maro Engel, and Jules Gannon. They've all been sent to the back of the grid for tire infractions, for not staying within the parameters that the tire manufacturer specified. So they were referring to something to do with air pressure or camber. They didn't specify what they did, just that they did something out of compliance and therefore have to start at the
There's
back
like
of the
a
field.
dozen Canadians in this freaking race, and I'm scrolling through the grid and seeing all the
I know there's, yeah, of course.
dang.
There's a couple. There's one in LMP2.
The guy that you what about the guy you drove around the test track at Mosport with? Isn't that the guy doing the multiple entry?
Daniel, no, Daniel Morad. He's racing the Mercedes AMG GT3 for Allegra Motorsport.
Who's the guy doing the double? The two different cars. He's got this
That's
guy could
Ben
end.
Keating.
That's crazy.
That's
This
Ben
guy could
Keating.
race. He could win. He technically could win in two different. He could get 2 watches.
Yep.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Like so, there's a couple cool things to look out for. Obviously, notably though, and this is the least. I think it's the least amount of NASCAR drivers ever. I don't think there's really. I don't think there's any other than obviously Jimmy Jam. There might be a couple other in there as well. Like there could be like a couple freaking. You always see like a truck guy test it out or.
Yeah.
But
There's a bunch of Cup people running in the Michelin Pilot Challenge race that happens on Friday.
yeah, I think Deegan's in
Haley
that. Yeah.
Deegan, Chase Briscoe, all Ford people.
Right.
What's the tall, lanky kid? 22. He's in Cup now. Austin
I thought
Cindric.
you were gonna say freaking Logano.
No,
Oh,
Cindric.
you were
And
saying well, same. It seems like the same deal there.
this is exciting. Paul Dell'Alana. I thought I saw his car is racing in this race. He's Toronto business guy from Toronto. A real estate. He deals in hospital real estate. I don't know what that is, but he deals with it. So
That's cool. It's always cool to see a guy like an everyday guy. I'm looking out for Team Netherlands. No, Team Nederland in LMP2.
Yeah.
Fritz van Aert and Guido van der Gaard.
Yeah.
With Rinus van Kalmouth or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, so that'll be cool.
I gotta find it. I gotta find that. I saw that car and I knew you were gonna love that car.
Yeah. No, obviously in GTD with Faf.
You forgot Murray Dillon too.
Oh yeah. With GTD, yeah, it's Faf is GTD, right?
Fritz van Aert, I'm pretty sure he is Jumbo. If you look at Max Verstappen's helmet and he's got Jumbo written, it's on the front of his helmet. It looks like it's Jumbo. but it's pronounced Yumbo.
Right. Yeah.
It's a big, huge, like, grocery store chain in the Netherlands, and that's him.
Right.
He
Oh,
owns it.
sure.
Fritz
Okay.
Bender.
Yes. 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 Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that guy's great. So
Evelyn
yeah,
G.
there's a
Francesco.
few different things already. Like there's a few different points already as we wrap up the show here in the next few minutes.
Hmm.
We can look at a few points already going into the weekend, and like I mean
Hmm.
like with the 24-hour race, there'll obviously be. Oh, I think I'm reading. Is Cindric? Hold on. I think. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about the. Why is it? So yeah, Cindric is running the 24. Okay.
No, no, the Michelin pilot, not the 20. I
Oh,
don't think he's in the
yeah, I'm
24.
looking at the grid for the 24.
Is he?
Yeah, yeah, he's
What's
on
he
here.
in?
One more second here. The number 55 Mercedes AMG GT3 with Dirk Mueller and Patrick Assenheimer
Hmm.
starting.
Really? I didn't know he was doing the 24.
Is there any other NASCAR drivers I need to Google in here?
Well,
Was I
I'm looking
wrong?
through all the guys to see.
Because I always see like a post on like NASCAR.com or whatever. But anyway, so there's obviously a couple things here just to understand it more better. Obviously, with Wayne Taylor Racing, there's a
Hmm.
record that they're going for.
Yes.
Explain that.
Um, they're going for 4
Right.
24-hour wins. It's not consecutive, is it? That's not what it's just 4 overall wins.
Consecutive.
4 consecutive. That's what they're going for. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I thought. They
It's
are
it's it's like the talk. It's the talk going into this race.
they are they are incredibly good at this race. For
Of
whatever
course.
reason, that team has always nailed this race. And to be honest with you, that team actually is really good at long distance racing, right? They typically really do well at, here, Sebring, Road Atlanta. Not so much Watkins Glen, has never really been their track, but they this is a big deal for them, and I really think I mean they're the favorite. They got to be the favorites going in. You can look at the timing for all the practice sessions and everything, and they're not always on top, but I think they have the most momentum. I mean, how can you not? You just won. You just raced everybody you're going to race, and you just beat them all. So,
And so another another aspect. So it's going to be the most entries. It's going
mhm.
to be the most entries ever. So is the question is where obviously the race is always the art of passing and being in traffic, but it's is it more? It's definitely is it more enunciated now? Is the race going to be determined through racing? It's going to be won or lost in the traffic, or is it a situation where you just think that's going to be the case and it'll just end up just being a little bit more spread out differently? Like think about it, what's going to
um,
be like midnight compared to the beginning of the race.
that's interesting. There is, as we found out from doing the iRacing, um, it was rare that we were on the track alone, right? It wasn't
It
till
was
the
nice when we
next
were though.
day,
Right? You
right?
got those
But
nice spaced out.
you always had somebody around you. So traffic is going to be um, is always going to play against you. Um, 24-hour racing is flat out nowadays. We talk about it all the time, right? They're not, back in the day they used to race at 80%. Now they're running at 100% for 24 hours. But
Right.
so it's just really going to be about survival. They need to remember that at hour 3 they don't need to stuff it inside a car or into the bus stop,
Or drive backwards
right?
into the racing line, seeing
Or
cars
drive back
coming
onto the race
underway,
line,
or
yeah, and hit
stuff it in the
you
bus stop. No,
square in the wheel and break your rear
your
axle
steering.
housing.
But hey,
Um,
we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it all. We're
I'm
trying to
excited.
have it all. We're gonna try to keep it up as much to update as we can up on our website, the Wide World of Motorsports podcast.wordpress.com, and we're gonna keep our eye out on these points that matter to us, and we're gonna next week in another episode here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Probably put some clips up onto Facebook and obviously live here on YouTube. It's spontaneous. There's really no point. We don't know we're going to do it. It's kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll be able to update you with that through the Facebook, the Twitter, and maybe we'll give Wallace the Instagram, get some more Insta posts going on. He's not a Twitter guy. But yeah, so
Not
lots to
really.
look forward to in the next couple weeks. We got back in the swing of things here with the Wide World Motorsports podcast live here on YouTube. Season 5, Episode 1 in the books here. If you like what you heard, you want to hear whatever, if you have any ideas for us, hey, you are a race car driver, race car driver, you want to be on the show, yeah, at us at social media, at the WWOMS. Just give us a shout. Leave us a comment. Love to hear from the listeners and the followers, the two people. No, but who knows who? No,
People.
yeah, it's gonna be a hey man, it's gonna be it's gonna be a blast this weekend and next weekend. We're back. Racing's back. Even though it doesn't where we're living, it doesn't seem like it outside. Racing is back, folks. We can solve the world's problems with racing. We can do better. We can do it. But hey, that's
Just
it.
look to the cookie, Elaine. Just look
Yes.
to the cookie.
Sometimes that's all you got to do. But that wraps it up for another edition. Wallace, we got this one in the bag, man. We got it.
Adios.
We'll see you all around the bend, folks. No random banter at the end? No.
Banter.